at the grand opening of the Chabad Hospitality Center. I immediately said, you know, Rabbi, I don't know. It's a lot of work. No, of course I said yes. I mean, it's an honor to be here tonight. It's an honor to be speaking here tonight. Most of you know me as a Jewish rapper that does slam poetry, and also probably wondering why I'm not rhyming. But from a rabbi's mind, it's all about the timing. You see what I did there, huh? You like that? Now, just for a brief moment, I want everybody to look around as if they were in a small room. Take a deep breath, embrace one another, and to be present is what I want you to consume. I want to tell you a story about a 16-year-old boy. A teen filled with opportunity for success, but drugs were his toy. A trouble-minded son who was always paranoid, was living a life filled with fear, hatred, and an empty void. Now this boy was in a great school. He had mentors, a job, and a loving family. He had all the tools to become the best person that he can be. All that was taken away from him because he chose to do drugs. He chose to steal, cheat, lie, and throw everything under the rug. A teenager with a dark soul living in a never-ending flood. The boy with resentment, guilt, and shame knew he had a problem, but couldn't identify it, so he numbed the pain with drugs, which ultimately robbed him. Now I want everybody to imagine that you're in this kid's shoes. You're in a dark room feeling hopeless with nothing left to lose. You feel as no one understands you, where there's no correlation. Your natural instinct is to search for any inspiration. So you go outside and look up to the sky. You try to connect with God, so you start to testify. God, please help me. Another chance is all I ask. You pop another pill because God doesn't say anything back. If the story of the boy doesn't ring a bell, then you could ask yourself how I know this story so well. And if there was a place filled with all the solutions in my life, and all I needed to do was just enter, then I guess I was pretty smart for going to the Karen Treatment Center. And through Karen, I got to know Rabbi Hipster very well. I say hipster because, come on, just look at the guy. Look at him. All jokes aside, if there was one person who understood how to channel my inner self as if he were in my shoes, it would have to be the guy who has a big beard, boots, but 0 tattoos. So thank you, Rabbi. We are all gathered here tonight in a marvelous new place. But before I talk about this milestone, there's a memory I have to retrace. When I was in Karen in 2018, the opportunity for a Shabbos dinner was given to me. Most of you know how the Shabbos meal goes: excellent food, company, and some fancy clothes. But to a broken down 16-year-old boy, it has been years since my brain was filled with so much joy. You see, Rabbi didn't question the wrongs of my life, but talked about how to prosper with some meaningful advice. Yet I can't give all the credit with the man with the beard, because it was a combined unity of the family who really commandeered. We also had fun and played a lot of chess, but my opponent was a prodigy and left me in a whopping mess. And trust me, you don't have to search this guy's name on Safari, because he's actually sitting right here and his name is Ari. And if you think that the Shabbos table couldn't get any more cozy, then you haven't met the marvelous Hoodie and Rosie. Thanks. Now for a brief moment, I'm going to take a pause from the rhyming. And if everybody could give a round of applause to Mrs. Hipster herself. Thank you, Rabbi. I mean, who else could put up with Rabbi as much as her? And to Rabbi, I have to say this, but marriage is a relationship in which one is always right and the other is the husband. Sorry, just the way it is. I want to revert back to the milestone that is taking place here tonight. The amount of work and dedication for this project was no easy quest. That's why the people who helped out and sponsored should be addressed. If Rabbi needed something, there was a guy who got it done. Thank you, Dr. Jerry Marcus. You're always there since begun. And to Jordan Berkowitz, you're a true caregiver. Thank you so much for donating all the beautiful furniture. And to Rabbi's mentor, friend, and the one he obeys by. Thank you, David Rotenberg. At this point, you're technically his rabbi. To a lady that held everything together like a safety pin. Thank you so much for your kindness and care, Sandy Solomon. Now, this couple is extraordinary for their kindness, to say the least. You've helped out more than you think, so thank you, Dick and Angela East. A special thank you to the Lakin family. Your generosity towards this great cause helps people out like me tremendously. And finally, to a very special person who's repeating history again. A person who helped the Karen Treatment Center grow in a house much like this one. Linda, Karen, Debbie, thank you. And for everybody else who helped out and donated, your impact on this milestone will never be faded. So thank you. The new Chabad house is filled with opportunity for future growth and continuity. A place where a 16-year-old boy can venture off in a new era. A new life of reasoning, where the boy can let go of all his continuous weight that he had on his shoulders. What we are experiencing here tonight is a milestone that won't just help one boy, not a couple, not hundreds, but thousands. And even though we have to let go of the old house, a new beginning is upon us, and it's absolutely magnificent. I was a scared boy who felt that there was no future for me. But with the help of the Lipsker family, I guess the hipster family, Karen, Serenity Lodge, my family, and myself, I persevered through that scary sky. I mean, it took a lot of humility,